Now News Talk 1250 KBRF presents Super Sports Saturday live from the Minnesota Motor Company. A breakfast by Taco John's. Brought to you by Thunder Seed, Olson Oil Card Express, the Fergus Falls School District, Taco John's, Ugsted Plumbing and Heating, Service Food, Lake Region Healthcare, American Legion Post 30, LB Homes, and by the Minnesota Motor Company. Let's go live to the Minnesota Motor Company and Craig Olson.
Thank you, David Bishop. Welcome, everyone, to the Minnesota Motor Company. It is our Super Sports Saturday Coaches Interview Show. We talk with Otter and Hillcrest coaches every Saturday morning, fall and winter season, from 8 to 9 a.m. Taco John's. Make sure we get a good start to the day with the breakfast. Potato Olay Scrambler with bacon is my choice. I already took care of that one. So great way to start the day or break up the day or end the day with a meal from Taco John's. And it's always good to talk basketball with Matt Johnson, the head coach of the Otters. And the Otters had a light week, game-wise, just one game so far. They do play today, so it is actually a two-game week, but we just have one to recap, and we'll look ahead to today's game. They play at 1:45 at Moorhead High School against Bismarck Century. Brad Anderson will have the call here on News Talk 1250 KBRF, starting with the 1:30 pregame show. So, Matt, the only game of the week, a 64-57 win in Sartell on Thursday night. Kind of a slow start to the game. Sartell came out early. Not as bad as it was when they were here last week when you fell behind by 10. You had a nice run there right before half to catch them and kind of take the momentum.
Yeah, it was a game that really felt I don't know if volatile is the right word. We just seemed a little bit on edge most of the night, which is pretty understandable for our kids. But I thought it was a game where it just felt like it could really go extremely one way or extremely the other, and I was proud of our guys for keeping level heads throughout and in terms of not getting too high, not getting too low, being able to kind of stay the course. I thought defensively when we really dialed in, it impacted the game, and we had control, and then there was a stretch to start the game where we just lacked a little bit of focus and didn't find shooters. They really have one kid that can shoot it, and then they really struggle to find points beyond that. And if you stay close to him, they really seem to have a hard time finding points. And offensively, we were really stagnant. The ball just didn't move, and we still got decent looks, but it just felt like we didn't have a great rhythm and a great flow. And so the shots we took, a kid would say, well, was that a bad shot? Well, no, it was not a bad shot. But I think we can maybe get a little better one or make them defend a little. It felt like a half. The first half felt like of 18 minutes that we played, 16 minutes of defense. One of those, you look at the football ball control stats, it felt like we were on the wrong end of that for a majority of the game. And we're not looking to delay, and we'll take the first good one we get. But sometimes you got to know just the rhythm, the flow of the game. And so I thought we did a better job of that in the second half.
Well, I thought, too, that Sartell did a good job kind of keeping you off balance that first half. They brought in so many kids. I think they used 10 or 11 kids in the first, 8 minutes of the game. And they brought some energy off the bench. A few of their kids really probably played above their heads early on.
Yeah, I thought they played really hard, played really well. What they are a really conservative defense, right? So they run some full court pressure, but it's really just a tempo control. And if you let them score or are playing off dead balls, then they get to set that pressure, and they get to control the tempo and control the pace a little bit. And then in the half court, they really pack in, right? So on ball defender will give some ball pressure, but then the other guys are all sitting there waiting for the drive. They're not going to turn you over a lot because they don't deny anything on the perimeter. And for our guys, getting them to understand that moving that ball is going to shift that defense, and then you'll have a lane to penetrate. But they were packed, and so I thought they did a really good job defensively of making things hard. And yeah, when they run that many bodies, they can play really hard. And I thought they did a good job
in that second half, especially. And I mentioned it a couple of times. I thought, Ryan Hurst was really aggressive when he got the ball and going to the basket. And you're talking about how conservative they kind of are defensively. I didn't think they really came out and challenged him defensively. He could kind of have his way, and he wound up just being really productive for him.
He had a terrific night, and he's been really good. That's not new for us. We've really come to expect 15 to 20 a night from him, and in that 10 rebound range, he's just had a huge impact on both ends of the floor. And I thought we did a good job of moving the ball to shift defense where he had opportunities to penetrate it and attack it. But, yeah, he got a lot of stuff attacking from perimeter, catching at the high post, attacking from there, and I thought he made really good decisions. And then he just got a rare ability to elevate. He's so long, he's so bouncy, so he can, he really isn't impacted by somebody trying to block his shot. He just goes up and over it, and there aren't very many kids we see throughout the year that can challenge him when he gets to really bounce and elevate over the top. So, yeah, I thought he had a really nice game. And
he was one of the guys that keyed your defense and led to some transition opportunities that you cashed in on. The other one was Levi King. Those two were just causing Sartell fits with steals.
Yeah, on the back end of it, I thought Ryan and Levi did a terrific job. I think that's the best game Levi's had all year, and he's been really good for us too. A kid that doesn't always light up a stat sheet, but if you're at the game, you walk away going, man, it felt like he must have had 15 rebounds, and you look and he had 6. Well, the 6 he had, each were 3 because they were so impressive, right? And so I thought Levi and Ryan on the back end of our pressure did a really good job. On the front end of it, it was pretty fun. Mike is consistent and always doing his job there, but we had a couple other kids step up. Isaiah Holmes got his first impactful varsity minutes of the year, and not necessarily designed going into the game, but we keep talking about him coming out of practice and JV games that, hey, we got to get that kid a look. He just does so many things so well. And so Isaiah got a chance to get out there, and he played the last 7 minutes of the game. First 7 minutes he's played all year that have been in meaningful time, and fun to see him do really well. And at the front end of that pressure, he and Micah did a really nice job of creating some chaos so that they had to try to throw that long pass that Levi and Ryan could play free safety on.
Yeah, Isaiah looked like he belonged, He
looked really comfortable. Yeah. He really has really great court vision and a really nice passing ability defensively. He's really solid. He's athletic. He can rebound. He really plays at such a calm pace, and I really like that about him. And yeah, it'll be fun to see him continue to grow and get better too.
Well, and it was good. You got to the line at the end. They had to put you on the line. You made your free throws down the stretch, got that job done. Forced 18 turnovers with your defensive play, and one of those games you needed the win. You needed to come out of there with a victory.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a stretch of games a while back. It was 6 games. We said, it's going to be really hard to come out with a we'll just have to play really well. And then we went through a stretch of games where we said, okay, we should be able to come out here with a few wins if we play well. Still playing quality teams, but you got to play well, and we've done that now. And so it's been a really, really good stretch. I think QRF-wise, we sit at 4th in the section, but Rocori, Little Falls, and us are in a mess. Fighting for that last home playoff game. It'll be Alec, it'll be DL, it'll be Tech, and then it'll be one of us getting a home game. And our Tuesday game against Rocori has some really big implications in terms of that. If we can get that win, we'll have a tiebreak over Rocori, and hopefully stretch the lead from Little Falls, who would have a tiebreak over us because it'll come down to overall, right? The whole mess, right? So,
if this, then that.
Yep. So you only control what you control, and that's us showing up every night and giving our best effort and trying to put some W's on the board. And kids have done a nice job of focusing on that one game at a time. I saw a cool quote the other day of how do you eat an elephant? Well, one bite at a time,
there
right?
You go.
And that's how you attack this last stretch, last 7-8 games here is how do you attack it? Well, one game at a time and one practice at a time and get a little bit better today and see where we end up.
One possession at a time, right?
Yeah,
break her down.
You can boil it down, can't
yeah,
you?
You sure can. How about today? You have Bismarck Century. Kind of fun to have an opponent you don't play. What can you tell us about them?
Yeah, they're good. I think they're 16-3, 15-3, something like that. So a talented team. I went to college in Bismarck at University of Mary, right? So it's fun for me. There's a few Bismarck names there on the roster. There's an Aldinger. There's a Kinnebrew. Some names of guys I played with or against when I was out there. So it's fun to see some of that. But they're really talented. Have a guard that averages 20 a night, can really, really shoot it. And that's some length. They remind me a little bit of us in terms of length and athleticism. They look like a 6'2 to 6'5 roster, full of kids that can bounce and run and play hard. So we'll have our hands full. I'm not super familiar with North Dakota basketball in terms of what does a win against Minot mean, or a loss against Jamestown, or what is some of their games are looking at, man, they score. Well, what's the style of play? How's it officiated? And some of those things I'm not super. So I've tried to watch a little bit of film. I would say we've focused much heavier on our own conference, our own section. But in the last 24 hours here, trying to boil down who they are and what they want to do. But we'll certainly have to be ready to play. We'll be playing a really good basketball team.
All right. Want to keep that momentum building going into next week.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, Matt. Thank you. Good luck today.
Appreciate it.
The fans, you can tune in that game if you're not going over to Moorhead. Hey, good day for a drive to Moorhead. Watch the Otters. They play at 1:45 against Bismarck Century. We'll have it for you on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Brad Anderson will have the play-by-play. We'll take a time out. We're going to talk Otter boys hockey. Mike Donahue is here. They've had a busy week, and we'll find out how it went on the other side of the break. You're listening to our Super Sports Saturday on News Talk 1250 KBRF.
Charlie Ugstead for Ugstead Plumbing and Heating of Fergus Falls. Let Carrier provide the ultimate in-home comfort. The new Carrier Infinity system delivers premium heating and cooling performance, occupancy-based temperature control and zoning capabilities, innovative filtration for healthy air, and over-the-air software updates that help optimize performance. Visit Ugstead Plumbing and Heating of Fergus Falls. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Ugstead Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Total comfort for your home.
Ole, ole, ole. And now we sing, but first we taco. Taco John's fresh burritos are bigger, their seasoned beef tacos are bolder, and crispy potato oles are better. Maestro! Taco John's!
Nothing is simpler than taking your love for meat and your love for potato olays and rolling them together in a burrito from Taco John's.
At Woodland Lodge Assisted Living, you can receive the care that you need while also enjoying a comfortable room, scenic views, beautiful facility spaces, delicious meals, and a wonderful community. We make it our mission to provide Christ-centered, quality care. To explore what that care would look like for you or your loved ones, call 218-998-7404 or go to lbhomes.org to learn more or to set up a free tour of our facility. LB Homes, caring for you wherever you call home.
Look around and tell me what you see. Chances are you see homes, schools, churches, and local businesses. And what you're seeing is the community. And what continues to make it great are the people. For 3 generations, Olson Oil Company has been a strong member of the community, providing scholarships for youth or contributing to local charity events, because this is what locally owned businesses do. Olson Oil Company, with locations in Fergus Falls, Underwood, Elizabeth, Vergas, Perham, Richville, and West Fargo.
Welcome back to the Minnesota Motor Company. And it is our Super Sports Saturday, talking Otter boys hockey right now. And boy, what a busy week. We talked about the Otter boys basketball playing one game. Now they get their second one of the week today. But the Otter boys hockey team has been real busy. 3 games this week. And interesting games, different games. Going back to Tuesday, Mike Donahue is with us, the head coach of the Otters, and a 6-0 shutout at Wilmer. Let's start with the goalies, Mike, because, the last 4 years you just had to put Ben Swanson's name down, and he was in there, and this year you get 2 senior goalies that you've been using pretty equally, Ryan Nelson and Tim Nansen, and it seems like both of those guys are really stepping up here at this time of the year. You got performances from both of them that you've got to feel real good about as you look to getting into the playoffs here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. I know both of them have gone through real good stretches, and then they've gone through stretches where they haven't seen the puck or felt the puck or played up to their own expectations at times, and now as they've both just stayed mentally strong and supported each other and pushed each other, we've got a real good problem on our hands with the way that those two performed this week.
Ryan on Tuesday night stopped 31 shots in that shutout victory, and you got the offense going, got 6 goals. Kelton Stenstrom got a couple for you. He's been kind of on a tear here the last few weeks with goals, but overall, with Ryan in goal, do you feel your defense has really picked up a couple notches, too, all over the ice?
Well, that's something that we've really been working on. I thought we gave up a lot of really good chances, actually, against Wilmer. But something that, as we look at Thursday night's game and last night's game, some real points of emphasis with our defensive core, and they bought into some things, which has really helped. I look at this week in our penalty kill this week. We didn't give up any power play goals against. Something that we've worked on in practice and put a focus on, and made a couple tweaks to how we've been killing in zone, a couple different looks on a penalty kill forechecks, maybe some different ways to conserve some energy. And if you take one or two power play goals against off the board, that helps our goalies, that helps our guys, makes those numbers look really good, and it just helps the whole team with energy. It can be pretty deflating. You draw a penalty, and all of a sudden the other team scores right away on the penalty kill. It takes some wind out of your sail and sure changes the momentum of a game.
Well, and on the flip side of that, your power play seems to be coming alive a little bit, too. You had a couple last night. You had one or two in Wilmer, so you feel like that's advancing also?
It's kind of just plugging away, I think. There's good flashes, bad flashes, which is part of the game. Teams have had 24 games to see our power play on film, so as you start thinking about that and what can you start doing maybe a little bit differently to give them a little different look or slide a guy in a different spot, and part of that I think is putting guys out that are hockey players and just knowing where the open ice is. You can't script everything. Kind of give them some general concepts, some things that we're trying to achieve, and then hopefully that they can go out and execute it. And our power play's been good at that. It doesn't matter which unit we've been putting on the ice. There's times we put what we call our red power play. We just run with our line colors as we're throwing them out there, but they'll get tired towards the end. Our other power play gets out there, and the next thing you know, the puck's in the back of the net. So it's great when both of them can get out there and have some success.
Before I totally leave the Wilmer game, just wanted to mention your last couple of goals. You get that 6-0 game going. You get maybe a little more ice time for a lot of kids, and Aiden Shakey scored your fifth goal, and then you had Adam Kennedy score from Wyatt Breeze and Parker Tilke. Nice to see those guys getting the opportunity and making taking advantage of it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always nice. These kids work hard all year, and they get an opportunity, especially on the home ice, to be able to get out and perform a little bit, and then when you can contribute to the scoreboard, it's always fun and exciting for those kids.
Okay, Tim Nansen against River Lakes. You saw a few pucks. You saw 48 out of 50 shots, and a tough 2-1 loss. You get a performance like that from your goalie, you want to score 3 goals that night.
Yeah, you absolutely do, and that was a fast, hard-fought game. Tight quarters in there. There isn't a lot of room to make plays. River Lakes works extremely hard. They take a lot of time and space away from you, try to pressure you into poor decisions, create turnovers. They transition quick, so if you're not ready to hit the binders and go back the other way, you're going to get caught, and they're going to create opportunities. And our defenseman did a really good job taking the middle of the ice away. We talked to Timmy about that night. He's just got a big physical stature to him. When pucks bounce off boards there, let's stay in the paint, let's stay square. Let's just see and feel that puck all night. Let it hit you, let it just absorb those shots. And he sure bought into that advice, and the best performance that I've seen him put in to date so far. Nice timing.
Let's keep it rolling here, right? So what a tough one to bounce back from with the game the next night, senior night at home. You have to be pretty proud of the way the Otters put it together as the game advanced last night for a 7-2 victory.
Yeah, for sure. The way we came out of the gates, it was tough roads on the way home from Alcoa all the way. Get home at 12:30 Thursday night, and the kids are sore and tired, and a little emotional from a tough loss. It was a great effort, but still, it wears on you a little bit. So you give them credit. They're up early the next day, taking care of their school business that they need to. And kind of trudged through that first period a little bit. We gave one up off of a face-off that we actually blocked a shot, and then just kind of lost the puck, lost the track of a guy, and those things happen when there's a little scrum and a lot of action in front of the net. And but we're able to capitalize on a power play at the end of that first period, and had a chance to get into the dressing room and regroup with a 1-1 score.
Yeah, Griffin Babolian got that power play goal for you from Zierden and Stenstrom, and those guys have been in on a lot of goals. And then last night the guys did it again. You know, Stenstrom and Zierden and Weldy. Jack had a great night for you in that, especially the third period.
Yeah, Jack brought energy last night, so he was good. His playmaking ability last night, the way that he used all four guys that were on the ice with him on every single shift, I think he created opportunities with his vision and his playmaking and his ability to move the puck. And then as he's doing that, he's drawing attention away, and then it opened himself up for a couple lanes late in that third to score a couple big goals to kind of put the game out of reach.
Yeah, 2 goals, 3 assists. Nice night for Jack. And you've got a big game coming up this week. It's a lighter week, of course, only one game, but it's a big one with Alexandria.
Yeah, big one, finale of the season, game 25. You know, we've got a good weekend, I think, to recover after a long week of a lot of emotion at the school and the week for the guys. So they can take this weekend to recover physically, recover mentally, and look forward to one game, and then it's time to start preparing for what happens after that,
which is the playoffs. So, and we'll talk more about that next week as far as how that's playing out. But that's coming around quickly. And I heard Mark Johnson and you on the post game last night. So you're one away from a milestone there, 250 wins. If you get on, he thought that'd be good to get it against Alexandria. How about you?
Well, yeah, I don't know how much control we have. We just need to come out and try to continue how we've been playing. Most importantly, I think defensively, we gave up 4 goals in 3 games this week. I think that's a really good tribute to the guys and how they're starting to commit to blocking shots, taking middle of the ice away, and making it hard on the other teams.
Well, if you don't allow the other team to score goals, you got a good chance.
We got an opportunity.
Yeah. So, good luck, and we'll look forward to Thursday, and then also to the postseason. Thanks, Mike.
All right, thank you, Craig.
Mike Donahue, head coach of the Otter boys hockey team. We're going to shift gears back to basketball. Josh Steer is here. We'll talk about the Otter girls basketball week after we take a timeout. You're listening to our Super Sports Saturday on News Talk 1250 KBRF.
Now is a great time to get down to Minnesota Motor Company and drive away in your new ride. Their inventory is building, and many vehicles come with closeout pricing or great finance offers like 0.9% APR for 36 months on 2023 Buick Envisions or trade-in assistance rebates on most Chevy Silverado trucks. Contact the sales team for more information. Minnesota Motor. South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
When you face a big decision or have a business problem to solve, you want an experienced banker, someone you know and can trust to help you reach your goals. At American Federal in Fergus Falls, ag and business banker Brian Wing has the knowledge and expertise to help you find the best solution. Expect a full review of your financial and a prompt decision made right here by your local American Federal banker, Brian Wing. American Federal Bank, member FDIC.
At Woodland Lodge Assisted Living, you can receive the care that you need while also enjoying a comfortable room, scenic views, beautiful facility spaces, delicious meals, and a wonderful community. We make it our mission to provide Christ-centered, quality care. To explore what that care would look like for you or your loved ones, call 218-998-7404 or go to lbhomes.org to learn more or to set up a free tour of our facility. LB Homes, caring for you wherever you call home.
At Thunderseed, we've spent over 4 generations developing the best products for dealers and growers across the region. Success requires a partner who is as committed to the full cycle of your growing season as you are. Call 1-888-6-THUNDER to learn more about our premier partner financing today. Thunderseed, first in the field, family-owned, and farmers first.
Back at the Minnesota Motor Company Super Sports Saturday, Josh Steers in, the head coach of the Otter girls basketball team. A couple of games this week for the Otters as they wound up with Brainerd on Tuesday night, and the Warriors are playing pretty good basketball. And then last night, the St. Cloud Crush in town, the Otters got a win there, so a 1-1 week. But Brainerd, it's the kind of team you want to play, Josh. You want to see how you stack up. I mean, they're good, and they took care of you the first time around, back first game of the year, but we played a lot better against them the second time around, as you would hope you would after all that time. But that was a good challenge for your kids.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they have a lot of athletes, and when they walked in the gym, The eye test when they walked in was kind of like, oh man, did they get bigger since we saw them in November? Like, did they get stronger from November on? And they have a lot of depth too, so it's tough to play against teams that are built like that. But I thought we went toe to toe with them. It was about 14 points at the end of it. That girl hit one at the buzzer that kind of torqued me off a little bit. But yeah, so we played hard. I thought we played pretty solid for the most part, and we found other ways to score. They kind of took Bryn, they neutralized Bryn offensively, and I thought we had a lot of different girls scored, and we got to 50 points with Bryn only scoring I think 6. So that means other girls are contributing, and that's what we're going to need down the stretch.
We've talked about it a few times when the defense, and we saw it again last night, St. Cloud trying to neutralize Bryn and playing that box and one. And she did get 16 last night. But again, the other kids have to recognize that and adjust to that. Are you seeing progress in that area?
Yeah, I think last night, in education, you always talk about the light bulb moments, and I think Ruby Olson had a light bulb moment last night. I think she figured some things out on the offensive side when she sees a box and one, and it's like, okay, they're not coming up to stop me as I bring the ball up the court. Okay, well, I'm just going to keep going then. And she hit some pull-up jumpers, and she finished around the rim pretty well last night. And then Hattie Fullhart was moving the ball like crazy on the offensive side, and she led us with assists last night. And she must have been throwing the ball to Ruby Olson, and Ruby was knocking down some shots. But yeah, Hattie, the message has been for her to attack, and if you draw that second defender or that third defender, we got to kick it. And last night she did, and the ball went in the hoop for us. So. But we're going to continue to see that. I call it a junk defense when you see a box and one, because it's not a standard defense. And I think we'll see it on Tuesday when we go to Ricori. And we've seen it quite a bit this year, but that's a good film for us to have out there, because we scored 65 points and Bryn scored 16 when a team box and one you. So then teams are a little bit more hesitant to say, oh yeah, that'll work, because if you give up 65 points and your girl you're trying to neutralize is 4 under her season average, I wouldn't exactly call that one a win. So that's good for us.
Yeah. How'd that work for you?
Yeah.
That's so well. Great finish to the first half. You were down, kind of had a hard time getting a roll in there. You were down 21-17, I think, and I had you scoring the last 13 points of the half, and that really kind of established the momentum for the second half.
Yeah, it looked like we were kind of trying to feel them out and figure things out a little bit, like, oh, well, okay, you're sitting in a box and one, and we practiced against it, but this is a little bit, you're doing it a little bit differently than we practiced, or you're doing it a little bit harder, or it's a little different, and it was kind of like cracking the code. So it took us a few minutes, unfortunately, on the offensive side to crack that code, and credit to them, number 15, that girl shot the lights out last night. She hit, I think, 3 threes in the first half, and we knew she was a shooter, but she shot it really well last night, and that kind of got them going and kept them in it. And I thought we did a really nice job on Jana Benson last night. Hattie Fullhart defended her really, really well when we went man and face guarded her, and she's their leading scorer, and I think we held her to 3 points last night.
Yeah, that was good. You mentioned Hattie leading you in assists, but you had 14 assists as a team.
Yep.
And out of 23 made baskets, I think it was.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good number.
Yeah, and then, when I look at our assist to turnover ratio, I literally just got the stats back when I walked into Minnesota Motors here, and we had 15 assists is what it said, and 8 turnovers. So we're about that. We were about 2-to-1 ratio last night, which is really, really good. And we want more assisted baskets. So it's really good to get the ball moving. It's really good to have the ball go through the hoop, because you need both of those things to happen if you want assisted baskets. And last night those things were happening for us. And I thought too, we had some stretch in the second half where Carly Hurst or Maddie Butke or somebody up on top got their hand on a ball and it transitioned into some offense for us. And it was really a fun night. There were so many kids that got involved, and a great way to celebrate our seniors.
Well, you certainly built some depth over the course of the season, I think, and Carly Hurst is one of the people has really emerged as someone that you can rely on out there.
Yeah, when I look at our Sartell game last week, she was our leading scorer, and then she's been kind of right there, contributing in a multitude of ways. Whether it be rebounding or defending or getting to the basket and putting the ball in the hoop, she's been doing it in a timely way. And that's fun to see. But the one thing it presents as a coaching staff is challenges, because there's only so many playing minutes out there for kids, and when kids start to get a little bit more depth in your program, then all of a sudden those minutes shift around a lot, and it's a tricky give-take game.
2 games on the road, Central Lakes Conference coming up this week, Ricori on Tuesday, and then Wilmer. Is that an afternoon game Saturday?
They moved that one, yeah. There's something going on.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be Friday, and they moved it now, so I think it's at 3:45 tip for the varsity, 2 o'clock for the JV, and those are going to be 2 important games, because those are 2 section opponents as well as conference opponents, and surprisingly, kind of a shocking score last night. Ricori beat Wilmer last night, which is not something I saw coming. But, so we're going to have to go down to Ricori on Tuesday, and, you know what? They only have 5 wins, but I think they're playing really good right now. So we're gonna dive into film and watch that, and we got to take care of business, and then we can talk about Wilmer next week, too, on the radio show.
Yes, we sure can. All right. Very good, Josh. Thank you.
Thanks, Craig. Appreciate it.
Josh Steer, head coach of the Otter girls basketball team. We're going to come back and talk Otter boys swimming and diving. They've got the conference meet today going to Brainerd. For that, we'll hear from Randy Hansen after this timeout. You're listening to our Super Sports Saturday from the Minnesota Motor Company on News Talk 1250 KBRF.
Fergus Falls School District 544 serves students in West Central Minnesota and is committed to excellence. They offer a multitude of opportunities both inside and outside the classroom. They give students cutting-edge 21st century employability and a whole lot more. The Fergus Falls School District strives to make sure there's a personal connection with every student that comes through their door. They are committed to their teams and are proud to be the Otters. Fergus Falls School District number 544.
Go Otters!
We're here with Ryan from Fergus Falls Monument Company. Now, Ryan, I've noticed some funeral homes are advertising for memorials. Why should someone come to you for a memorial instead?
We have some wonderful funeral homes here in town. The funeral home directors are caring, they're compassionate, and experts in their field. They're not experts in memorialization. When a memorial comes from a funeral home, it's coming from a company that's 100 miles away or more. There's always a markup when buying from a third party. It is more cost-effective buying direct. Come see the experts at Memorialization in Fergus Falls at the Fergus Falls Monument Company.
Active lives sometimes lead to injuries. When you're injured, Lake Region Healthcare is here to get you back in action ASAP. Emergency rooms and a walk-in clinic, plus specialists in orthopedics and sports medicine, back and spine care, chiropractic, and podiatry. Lake Region Healthcare has you covered from your head and shoulders to your knees and toes in Fergus Falls and 8 other communities. And at your fingertips through MyChart or online at lrhc.org.
Life moves fast, but your connection shouldn't lag behind. At Park Region, we're not just an internet provider. We're your connection to the things that matter most. Whether it's streaming your favorite shows, video calls with loved ones, or conquering online challenges. Because in a world that's always on the move, your connection should keep pace. Choose fast, choose reliable, choose local. Choose Park Region. Visit our website at parkregion.com or call 218-998-2000. Park Region, beyond the connection.
To the Minnesota Motor Company, Taco John's feeding us breakfast today, and we're feeding you conversation with the coaches. And Randy Hansen is here, the head coach of the Otter Boys swimming and diving team. They are going to Brainerd today for Central Lakes Conference competition. It's been over a week since you had competition, and people always ask me when they see the gap in your schedule, how come the swimmers aren't doing anything? Right. Oh, you were doing things, right? Just not competing. So how did you feel the last 10 days?
You just keep practicing, and we tell the guys we're still going to hit it hard. I mean, we don't want to rest for conference. You don't want that to be your best meet of the year. So we're resting for sections, which is 2 weeks from today. But we pounded them pretty good on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then Thursday, Friday was, a little bit lesser stuff. But, we just keep working hard. That's all we do.
What's your lineup look like today, Randy? Is this the lineup we're going to see at sections, or have you had to move some things around?
No, it's probably not the one we'll see at sections, because sections we get 4 people per event and 1 relay, and here we get 4 people per event plus 3 relays. So there'll be some guys that won't swim any relays at sections. But, we've been battling injuries and illness, so I might have to make some adjustments. Adrian Blondeau's been out sick. He came back yesterday and looked okay, 70% maybe. So kind of need him. And then Ethan Strandy's actually he's our breaststroke and our medley has really been battling a back. He tweaked his back. I don't know what he was doing, but he doesn't even know how it happened. But he's been getting treatment on that, and so we'll see if he can go. We're going to have him warm up and then see. He was on the mend and then did a start off the blocks and then went, nope. So we'll see. We want him for sections. Today doesn't really matter, but we want him if we can, so we'll see what happens. But so if he doesn't go, we're going to move Adrian to freestyle instead of having backstroke and a B relay. So otherwise, and then move Logan to breaststroke and Jaden to butterfly. So then Reese will be backstroke. So that'll be the top relay. And they're sitting 6th right now. Top 4 are all conference honorable mention, and 1 and 2 are all conference, and 3 and 4 are honorable mention. So that's going to be a bit of a stretch for us to get there, but the goal with any of these events today is just to get a good time going into sections. The only section team that we have in the conference is Alex, so we'll be watching them. Apollo and Wilmer are Class A, but they're in a different section, so we really, we just watch Brainerd and watch Sartell, and they're all double A, and so we'll just make us better today. Yeah.
I've said it for years, and even with Coach Uvis back in the day, the conference meet, you see tougher teams there than you'll see at sections even. It's a good prep meet for sections.
Oh, it's brutal. So, I was telling the other coaches, Matthew Toole's been one of the top 500 guys in the area for a while. And he's sitting 9th right now, so he won't even make the top heat. So you got the Tech kid who can swim whatever he wants as fast as he wants, and then the Sauk Rapids kid at Cash Walls, it's about like 1A and 1B, so those two will battle it out, and it's and so it's just kind of trickle down after that. So it is what it is, but it'll be fine, and Matthew will swim well, and Landon will be in that same heat. So it's tough. It's really tough, and to get all conference honorable mention for some of our guys is a really good feat, and we hadn't had any for a long time, and Matthew got it last year for the first time in I don't know how many years. So we'd like to get a few more people come home with some all conference honors today.
As a team, where do you think you fit in the conference today?
6 or 7 probably. Yeah. Okay. I mean, down towards the end. We beat Tech by 1. But in a championship meet, that. Their top guy is going to score a lot of points for them. So we'll see. They don't have a lot underneath him, unfortunately for them, but so that'll help us. We're deeper that way. We beat Wilmer, so we'll kind of be battling them head-to-head, and we're pretty even with Apollo, but I think Apollo's got a few more top guys than we do, so we'll be towards the bottom. But I don't really get too excited about the team score. It is what it is. I just want our guys to come out with their best time or very close to their best time for the year, and then get set up for 2 weeks from today.
Are your A relay teams today kind of the way you want to go into sections, or are they even not quite where you want them?
Well, it depends on. So if everybody gets healthy, so our medley's pretty well set if everybody's healthy. Our 200 free relay, is depends on who what kind of splits we can get today. That's pretty well set, with Logan, Adrian, Matthew, and Landon, but. Ethan Strandy was coming on pretty hot, but again, he's banged up a little bit, so we'll see what happens with that. And then our 4 free relay is pretty well set with Landon and Matthew and Jaden and Reese. So that's I don't see that maybe changing a whole lot, but you never know. But as far as like individual events go, people are swimming pretty much what they're going to do. Jaden's in the 100 free, which he doesn't normally do, and we just want him to, I want those fast guys to pull him along and force him to swim. I mean, he's been swimming really well and working hard. That's not what I'm saying, but I want him to have to swim fast because those other guys in that heat are swimming fast. So that'll be good for him. That'll help our relay at sections, and he'll probably end up doing fly at sections if he's not doing fly today. So that's, we tell the guys for sections, we want as many people to come home with medals and as many chances to go to state as possible. And whatever that looks like, that's what we're going to do. So, yeah.
It's interesting you bring up the fact of putting him in the 100 to have that competition because I don't understand how it works in sports, but, you swim faster when you're pushed like that. I mean, the same event. Yeah. Different competition, but you want them to feel that.
Yeah, it's all race, and it's the same in track or cross country, or whatever. If you got somebody that you're fighting with or that you can see, that it just makes you go faster because I want to beat them. Yeah. So we've been talking a lot about that mentality of getting focused, beating the guy next to you, and said you don't have to be best friends with them before the meet. You can, wish them good luck, but, you should want to tear their arms off, but then, be nice to them, after, and talk afterwards, but you got to find that angry place for you to swim fast and just go get it. And so we're learning, we're getting there. But yeah, having that competition today, I mean, there's a lot of good competition. It's going to be great. We're excited. We're feeling pretty good.
So what about after today, when you're looking at 2 weeks to get ready for sections? How does that look?
Well, one of the guys after practice goes, "Was this our last regular practice before taper?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I suppose it is, because we don't practice today, and Monday starts taper." So like, all right, so here we go. It's everybody's most favorite time of the year. Yeah, there's no magic to that, but the intensity goes down. The speed goes up, you could say. We do shorter, faster, longer rest stuff, but they just start to feel good. But it takes about a week for their body to kind of acclimate to that. But yeah, we've got just kind of a mapped out plan of what our yardage looks like and what our intensity looks like for the next 2 weeks, and we just got to stay healthy. Just got to stay away from people and not do stupid stuff, and can tell the guys you control what you can control. You shouldn't be out doing stuff. Don't do a bunch of extra things. Don't change your diet. Just be normal and control what you can control, and then, come what may, hopefully it all works out.
Right, you're going to have the Big Mac in March,
right.
Big one right now.
Yes,
okay.
Not right now.
No,
yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
Well, good luck today, Randy. Have fun, enjoy it, and I hope everything goes well and you get healthy.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks.
Randy Hansen, head coach of the Otter Boys swimming and diving team, joining us from our Super Sports Saturday at the Minnesota Motor Company. Taco John's breakfast, great way to start the day. Lunch, great way to break up the day. Supper, Taco John's? Hey, that sounds like a plan. So they'll be able to help you out no matter what time of day or what you would like from their menu. And we'll come back with more. Tim Lill is here. Otter Girls got a playoff win to start the postseason. We'll talk about it after this timeout. You're listening to our Super Sports Saturday on News Talk 1250 KBRF.
In today's business climate, you want an advisor with the knowledge and expertise to help you with all of your goals. You want someone you know and can trust. At American Federal, Ag and Business Banker Chris Marvel will help you find the best solutions. Whether you're looking to remodel, improve, or expand your business, count on Chris Marvel right here in Fergus Falls, helping clients create a successful future. American Federal Bank. Member FDIC.
If you're in the mood for some good home cooking, you're in the mood for a delicious homemade meal from American Legion in Fergus Falls. Anytime's a great time to enjoy the Legion's famous barbecued ribs, cheesy potatoes, homemade soups, salads, and desserts. Enjoy takeout or dine in. American Legion in Fergus Falls is open each Wednesday through Saturday. Takeout begins at 11 Monday through Friday, 3 o'clock Saturday. Dine in Wednesday through Saturday starting at 3. American Legion Fergus Falls, a great place to fill up on homemade favorites.
We're here with Ryan from Fergus Falls Monument Company. Now, Ryan, what's your favorite part of creating memorials of stone?
Keeping a family's historical record of ancestors and where they came from. I get to help create an idea that embodies entire lives and even generations of family. Knowing that people are going to gather around a memorial and tell stories about individuals so that our children know where they came from and what was important to them. Fergus Falls Monument Company is the only local place to manufacture those memories in stone.
Fergus Falls Monument, serving the community for 137 years.
The second one in 2 years.
We are back at the Minnesota Motor Company, and it's our Super Sports Saturday. Otter Girls Hockey is the topic, and Otters only had 61 shots the other night. That's a lot of shots, as they won their playoff opener against Prairie Center 6-0. Tim Lill is here to talk about that one, and that is a lot of shots, Tim, and the question is, were they quality shots? Are you getting a lot of good shots?
Good chances.
Good chances.
Yeah. She definitely had a sore belly afterwards. We hit her right there. But with a less skilled team like that, we had a lot of time and space in the offensive zone. Maybe even more than we were comfortable with. They had time to make decisions, which they haven't had all year, and they just couldn't find the corners and stuff, but they did 6 times, so that was important just to get the win that night and try to move on.
Well, and Anna Jerkis had to be lonely. That's the old Maytag repairman down there. She saw, 7 pucks all night?
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
You know, I'd love to console her after the game about not having enough friends down there. That means that we did our job. So there's nothing wrong with her having an easy night. You know, I think there was you know, we couldn't pop one early in the first period, and she did make a save that was pretty crucial. So after that, we kept it out of our end.
So after the first period, I think you had like 21 shots or 22 shots in that first period and only one goal. What was your delivery in the locker room after that? I mean, obviously you had a lot of chances, but you just were, like you said, shooting it into the goalie. And so how did you try to kind of get them going with, hey, we have so many opportunities, you know, let's make it count?
Yeah. Well, that hasn't happened all year, you know, so we haven't had 22 shots in the first period all year. A lot of times not in the entire game. You know, the one Aubrey Nelson did score, and it was we kind of joked about that, and I asked her in the locker room, how did you score? And I said, what you did is you aimed. And she goes, oh, yeah, I aimed. That's right. It's a game. Here you go. Why don't we try what she did? You know, she had a nice goal. It was low blocker side. It was a really nice goal. And we just tried to keep it light. I mean, I think it was obvious that we would get that win, and lots of stuff on their mind. So we just said, let's get out of here with one tonight. And eventually we kind of broke her down and got some goals.
Yeah, it took less than a minute into the second period to get that second one, and then you were off and running. And Hannah Johnson got that one, and they combined on your third goal too. Those two have kind of clicked together, haven't they?
Yeah, that line is playing good, and we're going to have to lean on them moving forward here. And so it's good to see them, you know, make something happen, and you know, maybe something goes off in their brain that goes, oh, that does work. You know, maybe if we move the goalie a little bit, and we can beat her, you know, to the short side or something like that. It's something they remember, and something they can visualize, and hopefully we're going to need them. We're going to need them Tuesday night.
Well, Maddie Brimhall assisted on the goal by Avery Tonneson, and Maddie has really come along offensively. You said it a few times this year. Yeah. Once she gets going, you know, she's going to go.
Yeah, she's got the quickest release shot. You know, she's the fastest one, and she's the strongest one. And when she's playing, it's a lot of fun to watch. She's a skilled kid, and she's coming on at the right time.
Maggie Grendigal got one from Ellis Starzo for you, and then Brinley Scholl added an unassisted goal. And Starzl scored from Rachel DeBrito. Yeah. It's fun to see the number of kids that were involved in the scoring.
Yeah, that was as an eighth grader. That was Brinley's first varsity goal. You know, and the kids, they really get into that. So that was fun to watch. And then you know, Starzl, who is our most consistent shooter from the blue line. You know, she doesn't get it. She grabs the puck and she's got a quick wind up, and most of those shots are low and right on net. You know, capable for tips and rebounds, and she let one fly. It was, you know, probably 24 inches off the ice, and the goalie just couldn't catch up to it. And it was a highlighter, so that was fun. She's a pretty humble kid. She didn't want to talk about it, but I pounded on her a little bit and said it's all right to celebrate. And she turns around and she doesn't want nothing to do with Coach.
I don't want to hear anything about that, Coach. Well, now you go take care of business Tuesday, right? You got Northern Lakes, who you beat week ago, 6-0 here on your home ice. That was, you know, that's got to give you confidence, knowing that you did that to them before. But what's your main concern about Northern Lakes?
Well, my main concern is, and I know when we played them, they had a couple injuries. You know, they didn't have a full bench, and you know, their coach said hopefully they can get those players back. You know, I don't think they had their best night. And that's a sneaky team. You never know. So, I mean, we have to come out and play the game that we've been ramping up to here the last month. That's the plan. We got to get a good practice in Monday. We haven't been able to do that here the last week. So that you know, we just got to come out and play. We got to play together, play as a team, try to get everything picked up and move forward. And if we can do that, I hope we can get out and have some fun that night.
You'll be in an arena these kids have played in a lot over the years. In fact, when I had them on TV, I think every girl I asked, what is your favorite road arena? They said, I like playing in Alexandria. Yeah. So that's kind of a good idea, and mentally to be prepared to play in a place you like to play.
Yeah, I like that it's on the road. It gives us an extra hour to just, kind of concentrate on what's going on and, being the defending champs and being there last year and figuring out how to win. Hopefully that experience helps us out.
I think it will. It'll be fun Tuesday night. Mark Johnson will have the call. 7 o'clock is face-off at the Runestone. We'll have it on 977 FM at AM 1020. Thank you, Tim.
You bet.
Tim Lill, head coach of the Otter girls hockey team, one step away from getting that return trip to state. They'll try to do it Tuesday night. And we'll come back to talk Hillcrest girls basketball. Hannah Clark is here to talk about her Comets. We'll do that after this timeout. You're listening to our Super Sports Saturday on News Talk 1250 KBRF.
While most everyone in Fergus Falls is sound asleep, the bakers at Service Food Market are busy making delicious baked goods and breads. So when you're ready to get out of bed in the morning, the shelves and the showcases at the Service Food Bakery Department are waiting for you with all your favorites: donuts, muffins, pies, cakes, and breads. In a hurry? Call ahead and your orders will be ready to go. Service Food Market, West Lincoln Avenue, Fergus Falls. If you're a skilled diesel technician looking for a rewarding career, Buyer Truck and Trailer wants to hear from you. Byers is looking for experienced diesel techs to join their team. Byers offers competitive pay, uniforms, paid vacation, an air-conditioned shop, and a family work environment. If you're ready to take your career to the next level, apply today. Call Justin at 205-6137 or apply in person, 2515 Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls. Buyer Truck and Trailer, looking for the best of the best.
It's time to take the plunge. The 28th annual Polar Fast Plunge for the Boys and Girls Club is Saturday, February 24th at 1 p.m. Lots of brave souls will chill for the children. Show them support by giving pledges to their plunge. Registering and raising pledges is easier than ever. Just go to bgcdl.org. A few celebrity guest appearances join us too. Saturday, February 24th at 1 p.m. Details at bgcdl.org. A huge thank you to Bell Bank for making all this possible, with a special thanks to BTD Manufacturing.
Welcome back to our Super Sports Saturday at the Minnesota Motor Company. Hillcrest girls basketball on tap now with Hannah Clark, the head coach of the Comets, who had a 3-0 week going back to last Saturday. And I just looked at the record there and realized you're, 15-3? 16-5. I was looking at the wrong one there. It's 16-5. The 3 I was thinking about is the Little Lake Conference. You're 12-3 in the conference.
Yes. And looking at all 5 of our losses right now are against all kind of ranked opponents in the section with Hancock, Underwood, Sacred Heart, and then Pelican Rapids. So not necessarily bad losses. Do we wish we could have gotten a couple wins out of there? Yes, but nothing to be ashamed about with those.
Well, you're on a great roll right now for sure. And last Saturday when you played over at NDSCS in Wahpeton, you went up against an opponent you weren't familiar with, Lidgerwood, Winemere. How did you feel that experience went for you? Because you had quarters, right? You played quarters.
It was really nice because our team's not necessarily all that deep. So to get those extra breaks without having to use timeouts was really beneficial for us. We had been battling some sickness that past week, so we had quite a few girls gone. But I was just proud of how the girls kind of battled through fatigue and all that. But it was just great going to get to play at in Wahpeton and play on a college court. I think it was just a fun experience for the girls.
Yeah, absolutely. And that can be a tough place to shoot the ball, kind of. There's so much room
open
behind
space.
it. Yeah.
And I think we had 2 3-pointers the entire game, and it was Emmy Berge who hit both of them in very timely fashion when we needed a bucket. So yeah, we didn't necessarily shoot all that well, but our defense got stops when we needed, and we just found a way to grind it out and win.
And then you had a couple of conference games that you look on paper, and the Comets were favored in those games, the types of games you need to win. And you beat Parker's Prairie 64-28, and then got Rothsay pretty good after a real tough game to them the first time around.
Yeah, you know what I really like to see the second time around in our conference games is just seeing how much we improved.
Right.
Our Parker's Prairie game was actually not necessarily super close the first time we played them, but much closer than it was the second time around. respond. And like you said, Ross, it was a 1-point game. So I think our girls have just been improving so much, and they really look at games when they're close, that next time we play, they really want to prove themselves and get out there and get the win. But I just thought they played so well this week.
You know, what I love about your team, and I'm looking forward to seeing you Tuesday night against Underwood. I get to cover that game, so I'll be excited to see this team in person. But you've got girls, Ella Knutson and Elsa Retzloff, who are leading you pretty consistently point-wise. But, boy, the stat sheet is so balanced in assists. You've got a team that shares the ball well. The rebounding effort is there up and down the lineup. The defensive pressure, the steals. Everybody's contributing here consistently, game to game.
Mm-hmm. And I think if I had to pick one word to describe this team, it would be unselfish. So they distribute the ball, they share the ball so well, but at the same time, they, unselfish as in they're going to dive and they don't care what happens to themselves if they're doing it for the team. They're wanting to get those rebounds, they're wanting to get those steals. I just think Ruby Peterson, she distributes the ball so well and gets everyone involved, and so that makes it fun for the girls who don't necessarily get all the points or lead the team that way. But if they're able to get good looks and opportunities to shoot the ball, that just makes it beneficial for everyone. And Ruby does such a good job with that.
I was going to go to Ruby, and you beat me to it there. She had, she had 13 points against Parker, so she can score. Mm-hmm. But that's not. I look at the game against Lidgerwood Wyndmere. She only had 5 points, but she had 8 steals and 3 assists. She's not scoring for you, which she doesn't have to.
Yep.
She's doing a lot of other things.
Yeah, she does. And one thing I think she can do a little bit better, she attacks the hoop so well, and she can get past her defender, but I think she's almost going in there to look for her teammates to get them the ball rather than look to the basket herself. And like I said, it's great to get others involved, but we also would love to see her really looking for her shot. But she just does so much good things, so many good things for us, and she really is our captain, our floor general out on the floor. When she's out there, our team has just they're calm and they're confident when she's out there, and all these girls really look up to her as a role model. So it's great to have her, and the way that she leads the team has been great for us this year.
61-38 against Rothsay, and in that game, Kate Olstead had 11 rebounds, 6 of them on the offensive end. Boy, that's fun to see.
It is, and every time she gets a rebound, she just smiles. She just loves it, and she works so hard, and so I love to see that success for her. She just has a nose for the ball and a willingness to go get it, and she brings that toughness to our team, and it's been just fun to watch her grow as a player.
You had a 34-11 lead at halftime against Rothsay and only gave up 38 points the whole night. Talk about what was working so well defensively for you.
We are long and athletic, and the girls enjoy playing defense. We've been continually working on our press and talking about rotations and talking more about we get that first trap, but as they rotate out of it, our press isn't finished, our traps aren't finished, continue to trap up the floor, and they've been doing a good job with that. And we saw some great rotations on Thursday night, and once they get 1 or 2 steals or create a couple turnovers, it just really fuels them to keep going.
Boy, and that is infectious, isn't it, defense? If someone's making a steal, then everybody kind of ramps it up.
Yeah, we've got girls, I think, kind of down the line. Ruby Peterson's leading us with about 5 steals a game, which isn't surprising, but then we've got people, averaging 4 steals, 3 steals, 3 steals, yeah. 2 steals. So it's just fun. They get their hands in the passing lanes. We can count a lot of steals, but when you look on paper, even more so their deflections. We get a ton a game, and that really gets us going, and it makes things tough for the offense to get into any sort of rhythm.
Yeah, they kind of are afraid to pass the ball. Someone's going to deflect this pass. Oh, you get 3 games again this week. You're getting used to that 3 games a week, or what?
Oh, this is going to be a fun one. It's we're all on the road, but good conference games. We've got Underwood on Tuesday, and our girls are really looking forward to that. Go to Battle Lake on Thursday, and then we head to Brandon Evansville to finish out the week on Friday. So 3 really, really important games. We're starting to look ahead towards seeding for playoffs, and so every win is important to us, and so this should be a fun, good week.
I don't know if it's in the bag yet that you're getting a home playoff game. It's looking pretty good for you, but you still have to take care of business.
It is. We've got 5 games left. And if we don't play well, there's a chance we could drop all 5, and that could really change our spot in the seeding. Right now we're in the 3 spot with lots of games left to go, but Adaborp is right below us, and they're pretty close, so that could easily switch. No one really knows how the QRF seeding works, right, or can figure it out. So any given night it could switch, teams could jump, and so we just talk about taking care of business on our end, and whatever happens. But our girls are looking forward to the end of the season.
Sounds good, Hannah. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, bye.
Hannah Clark, head coach of the Hillcrest girls basketball team, joining us on our Super Sports Saturday from the Minnesota Motor Company. Thanks to Taco John's for feeding us breakfast, to the coaches for coming in and talking about their teams, and for you also for listening to the program today. Spartan basketball doubleheader, 1 o'clock today on Channel 977 and AM 1020, and Otter boys basketball on News Talk 1250 KBRF, 145, 130 pregame from Moorhead against Bismarck Century. For Dave Bishop back in the studio, Craig Olson thanking you for joining us for our Super Sports Saturday on News Talk 1250 KBRF.